Are we rolling? Lights, camera, action. Hi guys, welcome to Just a Small Cap. If you're new here, I'm the host, Oz, and if you're a regular, welcome back. You know the drill. The only thing filtered here is our coffee. Yes, I've made that a tagline. People loved it so much from my previous video that I was like, you know what? That's going to be my tagline from now on. It's just really cute. I love it. Before we get into our topics today, I just want to talk about my beverage of choice today. I have a latte with full cream milk and two sugars in this such like a cute mug. It says, "You're good for my mental health," and it's from We're Not Really Strangers. I love that brand. I also have their card game, which has these really deep questions that you can play with your friends and family. It's a bit intense, but I like the brand. It's good. I think it's Jada Smith's brand, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, I just love their merch. It's really cute. So I don't know if they still have it online. Fingers crossed they do. Before I get started on this week's episode, I just want to express my gratitude and my love for the people that have supported me on this podcast journey. I've had the most overwhelming 2 weeks of so much love and support from my closest friends and family, even strangers that don't know me have supported me. So I really want to thank you guys for all the lovely DMs and messages, and even my friends in Canada, Liz, her mum was listening. I had more people listening from overseas. I had flowers delivered to me. It was just really, really, really sweet. So I want to thank everyone for really supporting my journey. As I mentioned previously in my other video, this podcast is literally my child. And for me to put it out into the world now makes me extremely emotional because I've been talking about this for so many years. So thank you. I can't even express how thankful I am. So yeah, that was my little thing. Okay, on to our topics this week. It has been a crazy 2 weeks. There's a lot to discuss, so I'm going to jump right into it. Firstly, I want to talk about what's been happening in my personal life. So, the last 2 weeks, I've been quite, well, I don't even know what the word is. I guess not in a good place, just because I've been working remotely for the past 5 months. And as much as I love my job, it is one of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever had. It's the best team, the best company. Everything has just been so perfect till this point. But I think one of the downfalls is, and one of the things that I thought was a positive, was working at home. Now, I've always been in corporate. Corporate has been my thing since I was 19 years old. I worked in corporate. I was receptionist. Um, I did a lot of admin work, and it's great to some point. But then, even in corporate, you're like, I wish I could work from home. Especially when COVID hit, I was like, oh, I wish I could work from home. It would be such a good opportunity. And I finally got a job that is fully remote and I can work from anywhere. But I've gotten comfortable with being at home. And there is some positives to a degree. I could do my things in my own time. I could put on a TV show. I could listen to music really loudly. I don't really need to answer to anybody. My manager's super chill. My team members are super chill. Um, I just, it's a great way of working. But at some point, the part of me that craves human interaction is starting to be diminished. And I'm like, this is not normal to not have zero contact with people. I mean, I'm having contact with them online and I'm speaking to them via Slack, and I'm, talking to people in WhatsApp chats, and I'm messaging my friends and whatnot, but that's not enough. I'm not actually talking to people face to face other than my own family. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm a homebody, but I love human interaction. Even the act of ordering a coffee or going and getting lunch or even my personal styling sessions, that makes me happy. That's like a little small thing that I do. And I'm like, okay, like I'm speaking to people, I'm interacting with people. And Giselle, who is in the company that I work with, she was like, look, I'm going to be in the office on Friday. Why don't you come with me? And I was like, oh, do I go? And I was like, you know what? If I don't go, I'm going to be homebound for the rest of my life. I literally put that in my head. I was like, you're going to go. Even if it's raining, even if the weather is gloomy and you want to be in bed all day, you were going to go. You're going to get dressed up and you're going to go. And I did. Thankfully, I did because even speaking to Giselle helped me so much. Just even talking, like, just shit talking. We weren't even talking about like anything crazy, just even talking about what we're going to have for lunch. And even the act of going and ordering our sandwiches at Coaster, which was amazing. The tuna melt. Oh my God. If you guys have not tried it in the CBD, please, please go and support them. Oh my God, they're amazing. And even going and ordering matcha with her at Sneaker Laundry was such a good thing as well. We got out of the office, I got some fresh air, and it really helped um, me center myself and be like, okay, I'm good. And it helped my anxiety, and I felt a lot better. Also, being at home for like 2 weeks straight, I felt like I was losing my mind. My anxiety got really, really bad. I started like listening to my own thoughts, and it was just a really dark place. And doing this podcast and focusing on this and focusing on my social media, it helps me. Focusing on my work, it really helps me. But when you're at home, you're really stuck in your ways and you can't really get out of it. So I'm glad I went out. I even bought myself like a Mason Margiela perfume, just like a small vial of it. It's called Afternoon Delight. And like even doing that, it helped. It's just something small, but it really helped my mental health. So if anybody's stuck at home remotely, I completely understand. I totally get it. It is hard. It is like a blessing and a curse at the same time. I love it and I hate it. But I know that once I'm back from the States, I am dedicating myself to going out at least once a week to a cafe, to a library, anywhere, because it's not helping me whatsoever in my mental health department. My brain is going, please get out of the house. So I will definitely be doing that. I'll be definitely taking a lot more mental health days as well. I really just need to focus on me. As much as I want to cater for everybody, I can't. I'm one person. I can't do that. So from now on, I really need to focus on bettering myself, and then everything else comes second. So that's really what's been happening. I'm so thankful for Giselle. Shout out to her. She's been such a big support system, especially with this podcast and my fashion stuff. So thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what's been happening. I have so many exciting things coming up. I'm actually going on a podcast this weekend, which you guys can catch me on. Her podcast is called Mistaking My Way Through My 20s. Quite a long name for a podcast, so I always get it mixed up. I'm like, making my way through my 20s, or is it mistaking my way through my 20s? It's mistaking my way through my 20s. Laura, I used to work with her, and she is such an incredible human being. She also has her own podcast. I will link it down below for you guys to go check it out. She's amazing. So she invited me to be on her podcast, and I will be doing that this Sunday, and I will let you guys know when that comes out. It'll be really fun and really cool. I know that on her podcast, I'll be talking about my styling stuff, but I actually really want to touch on it today because I have such a journey with fashion and personal styling, and a lot of people wanted to know what I do, what the whole thing is about. So I'm going to get into it now. So, my personal styling journey has been a journey. I have a whole backstory to it, really. I started my personal styling business about 3 years ago. And before then, I've always had ideas of what I wanted to do in the fashion industry. And I always thought about how am I going to get into the fashion industry with no connections? What can I do to really let out my creativity? I have all these ideas. I have all this creative juices flowing through me, and I was like, how do I get this out? What do I do? And when I was in high school, I loved writing. And I was like, okay, well, I could do something with this. I was in textiles, and in textiles, everyone was so creative. Everyone created these dresses or this, wall hangings and stuff like that. And I was like, huh, I'm not a designer by nature. I don't draw. So what do I do? And we had this one assignment where we could write about our favorite designer. And I was like, okay, well, I want to write about Balmain. Balmain at the time was my favorite designer. I was 16 at the time. 15 or 16 at the time. And Balmain had just taken off with like Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber and whatnot. They were all wearing his designs. So one of the assignments was to write about your favorite designer, until that assignment actually got scrapped and they were like, we're not actually doing this assignment anymore. I was so upset. I was so upset. And I was like, okay, maybe my thing is fashion journalism. Maybe this is what I need to be doing. And so I finished high school, got into uni, and I had a difficult time at uni. My parents really wanted me to be a teacher, especially my father, and I just didn't want to do that. I had plans of changing my degree. I didn't get into uni with great ATAR marks, so I had to do an arts degree at the university's college, and then could transfer into uni. It's a bit difficult, sorry. And while I was doing my arts degree, I was constantly writing, and I opened up a blog with no money, nothing. And I remember being so engulfed in it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be writing about all these designers. But at the time, there wasn't this much content. Now there's so many fashion blogs and so many places you can get information from. At the time when I was 18, there wasn't that many fashion blogs. This was about like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So for me to write something, I needed to have connections. I needed to be able to go to runway shows. I didn't have that type of connection. Where was I going? What was I doing? So I basically shut down that blog after maybe one or two articles. And then as uni progressed, I got into this society, and I'm not going to disclose what the society was, but they had a dance division, and that dance division needed a stylist. And I was friends with these people, and when they said that they needed a stylist, I was like, this is a great idea. So I started creating mood boards for them, and then I, would go and source outfits for them. And at the time, the fashion sense was streetwear. So I bought like, Supreme shirts and then fishnet tights and like ripped jeans. I ripped a lot of their jeans as well. I learned it from YouTube, and then I was like ripping their jeans. I loved it. I loved being so creative in that way and drawing inspiration and using what I was given and helping with the makeup department and hair and the accessories. It just fulfilled me in so many different ways. And I was like, I love it. I want to be a stylist. But again, how was I doing it? So I had my Instagram page. I closed it for a while. Then, because I wanted to be mysterious. And I had like thousands of followers on there. I removed every single one of them. God, I'm so stupid. Anyway, so I did all of that. And then when I was going out shopping with my friends, I would always give advice, and they would just tell me, why don't you just become a stylist, like a personal stylist? And I was like, huh, that's actually a pretty good idea. So in my final year of uni, I decided to reopen a page called Rose Styling. Please go follow me. It's my child as well. That's my other child. And I just love putting outfits together and posting them. And so through that Instagram account, I started building a client base. I have a bit of a clientele, and it's just been great. I love personal styling. It brings so much confidence to people, and I can see them glow, and I can see that they're really happy and they feel good about themselves. And I wouldn't want to do anything else. I love it. And one day I really hope that it could be my job full time because that's how much I love it. Hopefully, I get to work at like a magazine or something like Vogue. It's always been my dream to work at Vogue. So hopefully, one day I'll get there. But that's really my journey with personal styling. And then I've just been a personal stylist ever since. It's been about 2, 3 years now. So it's got its ebbs and flows. Like at some point, it was booming and I had a lot of clients. And then it kind of just like goes back down and I don't have that many. And then, or like every few months, I'll have someone reach out to me saying that they need help. And then we'll just go out shopping and I'm basically paid for my opinion, which is great. They spend on so many good items and I get paid for my opinion. So it's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, that's my personal styling journey. I love every part of it. So, but I have really exciting things coming up. Like through my personal styling journey, I've also done different workshops. I've been doing these personal workshops. Navaz, who owns Beyond Besties is basically a company that she owns, and they do workshops for like different things, like personal growth, AI. They've been doing like some techie stuff, tarot reading. They just do all these different workshops. It's really cool. I'll definitely link them down below as well so you can check them out. And Navaz and I met at Vogue Code's networking event last year, and we just became like really good friends. And she messages me like months later and she's like, "Hey, I actually want to do a personal styling workshop. Like, would you want to be a part of it? You can host it and you can present your work and it'll be great for you." And I was like, this is such a good idea. So we basically had a few meetings and then we came up with the personal styling concept, like workshop concept. And yeah, we've had two so far and it's gone really, really well. I think we're planning to do a third one by the end of this year, if not beginning of next year. And it's my passion. I love having all these people come out and they, listen to my advice and I answer their questions. It's just been such a fulfilling part of my role as a personal stylist. So if there's any more sessions, I will definitely be posting about them. So definitely follow me on Instagram. It'll definitely be on there. So before I get into my next topic that I'm going to be talking about, which is the summer I turn pretty, I need a sip of my coffee because I'm going to get into it like heavy. Okay, the summer I turned pretty. Now, if you haven't watched it and you don't want any spoilers, you can skip right ahead. But if you have watched it and you want to listen to me rant, please stay because episode 8 just came out last night. And the past two episode 7 and episode 8, has been the most intense episodes of this whole series, honestly. Oh my god. Okay, so if you're still listening and you kind of want to know what the Summer I Turn Pretty is about, basically it's about a girl named Isabel. Her nickname is Belly, and her mother Laurel is best friends with this lady named Susanna. Now Susanna has two sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. And Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah have grown up together. They've always gone to this summer house in Cousins. It's some suburb in America. And Conrad has always had a thing for Belly. And Belly has always had a thing for Conrad. At the beginning of the series, they actually fall in love and they express their interest to each other and they actually get together. However, Conrad's mother, Susanna, passes away from cancer or something like that. And Conrad goes through a really tough time because he had kept this a secret from his own brother, Jeremiah. And so he was going through a really depressive phase and he had a lot of panic attacks, and Belly couldn't handle this. And then they broke up. Now, the most messed up part about it is that Jeremiah ends up with Belly after Conrad and Belly break up. So Belly essentially dates two brothers in this in this series. I just don't think I just don't understand Belly's mentality because firstly, I would never between two brothers, that is insanity to me. The show is so cringe in so many ways, but I can't stop watching and I don't know what it is. Um it's just yeah, the storyline is absolutely horrible. But anyways, now in the past two episodes, we see that Conrad is finally admitting his feelings to Belly again, being like, please don't marry my brother Jeremiah. Again, rewind, Jeremiah proposes to Belly after he cheats on her twice in Cabo. And Belly accepts it because, I don't know, she doesn't want to be alone or something like that. Everybody knows that she still has major deep feelings for Conrad, but she's like, I don't like him. I would never be a part of that. Whatever. She like tries to erase her past with Conrad so badly, but things happen and it leads up to them basically admitting that they have feelings for each other. Anyways, so Conrad finally expresses his love to Belly on the beach the night of Belly's bachelorette party. Jeremiah is passed out on his bed from being drunk, and Conrad's on the beach. And Belly thought that she was going to be meeting Jeremiah on the beach, but she sees Conrad, and Conrad explains how he feels. He finally has enough, and he's like, I still love you. Please don't get married to Jeremiah and be with me. My heart broke for this man because, as stupid as this whole show is, a man yearning like that and he's so in love with you and you can't see it kills me. Belly is one of those characters that has the least development out of anybody in that series. And her character really annoys me because she victimizes herself when she's actually put herself between two brothers and these two brothers can't even look at each other without hating one another because they love the same girl. Like, Belly in this situation realistically should have removed herself completely and shouldn't have even like if she's dated Conrad, don't date Jeremiah. Like, what are you doing? Are you that stupid? Anyway, but yes, after the beach scene, this week we see that Conrad really gives no F's about anything. Like, he does not care if Jeremiah knows that he has feelings for Belly. And it's the day of the wedding, and Jeremiah finally finds out that Belly does not have feelings for him whatsoever. Like Belly says that she has feelings for Jeremiah, but those aren't real feelings. She still has feelings for Conrad. Like, she cries over Conrad. She's so scared of being deeply in love with him that she keeps pushing Conrad away, but she loves him. And Jeremiah finally recognizes that and finally admits that he's known all along that she can't, sorry, he can't have every part of Belly. Like, Conrad has every part of Belly. So it's pretty intense. I don't know how this whole thing is going to play out. The last scene was of Belly leaving to go to Paris, which, by the way, Belly literally like says that she doesn't want to go to Paris because of Jeremiah's mistake. So Jeremiah, the whole thing is really confusing. I'm so sorry for anybody that's listening. But Jeremiah basically fails a grade in his class, one of his classes, and so he has to repeat like first year classes and he can't graduate. So Belly's like, "Okay, that's fine. I won't go to Paris and I'll stay with you." Girl, you are not his mother. Okay? He's a 21, 22-year-old that can figure out how to read an email. Like, you don't need to be mothering him and smothering him at all. Oh, Belly just really annoys me. Which I really need to touch on really quickly is that these characters, or sorry, these actors have been getting a lot of hate online. And if you're one of those people that literally associates a character with an actor, you're sick. The parasocial relationship that people have with these celebrities are actually unreal, and it needs to stop. Lola has been getting a lot of hate, the girl that plays Belly, because she apparently broke Conrad's heart. It's and she's doing a job, she's getting paid to do it. So like even Gavin, who plays Jeremiah, has been getting a lot of hate despite his political views, because I don't agree with his politics. He's still a human being. And Jeremiah is just a character that he plays and gets paid for. So let's be real here. Let's separate the two. I think it's gone too far now. But yeah, the parasocial relationship that people have with these celebrities is actually quite sickening. I think people really need to check themselves, because it's not normal whatsoever. Y'all ain't normal. But I think it's a lot of young fans. It's not even the older ones, it's the young ones that get really caught up in everything. And I completely understand that. Like, I was a One Direction Justin Bieber fan and I thought I would date and get married to one of them. Like, that was the mentality that I grew up with. But there is also a fine line between thinking that they're like your friend and thinking that you can like send hate and you know them personally, and you don't know them. You don't. They could either be the best human being on this planet or they could be the absolute worst, but you don't know them. So we need to stop. I'm actually going to get into the topic of parasocial relationships with a friend of mine. Her name's Kazi. She's such a sweetheart. She's actually on Book Talk and she's like in all the fandoms and stuff. I'm going to actually get her on one day. Anyway, enough talk about the summer I turned pretty because it makes me mad. I'm going to quickly touch on the Avengers. So there has been some tea on the Avengers set, or Marvel set, I would say, because it's about Doomsday. Um, Apparently RDJ and Ryan Reynolds have been beefing, like major beefing on set, which is really surprising to me because I didn't think that these two actors would even interact really with each other. Whatever the case may be, I actually am just on RDJ's side. I have a lot of issues with Ryan Reynolds as a person himself. Again, this kind of hints at the parasocial relationships, but because we don't know these people, but from what I just know about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, they've just seemed so off to me, and there's something so off-putting about them, especially with the way that they went ahead with like the Justin Baldoni situation. With it's it starts with us. It it's it ends with us. Sorry, it lasts with us. I'm thinking of Last of Us with Pedro. Sorry. So I'm like iffy about Ryan Reynolds, but the tea basically is that Ryan has made a really um disgusting comment or joke on set, and RDJ did not take it lightly, and he's been very pissed off about it. A lot of people actually thought that it would be between Pedro and somebody else, but I was like, Pedro Pascal is like the nicest guy. Like, there is no way he would get into any beef. Like, that man has too much anxiety to handle beefing with somebody. Um, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. I really so badly want to be a fly on the wall in that set, but I feel as though Ryan gets way too into his character Deadpool, and he thinks that the jokes that Deadpool makes, he can bring it into real life. And I think it gets him into trouble most of the time. And I think that's what's been happening. So that's basically what's been happening. I am on RDJ's side. I don't know what the story really is. There's all these speculations that it's about a joke and stuff because, which a lot of people don't know, is that Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson were married and they got divorced years and years ago. And RDJ is very close to Scarlett Johansson, and people think that because RDJ is so close to ScarJo, that he was like defending her basically against Ryan. That's basically what's been said. So I don't know how true it is. I really hope that this filming gets wrapped up in a nice way because there's been so much tea that's been coming out. I need to do like a separate episode just on Marvel itself, and I'm gonna have one of my friends on Alex. She is going to be my editor for Just a Small Cap, and she's like behind the scenes at at the moment. I can't even speak. Jeez. At the moment, but I will have her on at some point. So shout out to her. I love her. She's one of my besties. She's like the best. One of my besties. She's the best. Also, can I just talk about one thing really quickly? Twilight is coming out with something tomorrow. Obviously, by the time this episode is up, it will be already out. But I don't know what Twilight has up their sleeves. They just put this like photo up of Edward, Bella, and Jacob, and it's like something. I don't know what it is, but I'm so excited. I'm freaking out. I think partly of why I'm sweating is because like I'm so excited to see what the hell they're coming up with. I'm so excited. God help me. I don't know what's happening. I love Twilight so much. I just want to be a vampire. Like why couldn't I just be a vampire? Why? That's why I have black hair. T. Literally. So I can feel like a vampire. Normally, when I have my long nails, I feel even more like a vampire. Like I get like red nails done, like dark red nails. Makes me feel so good about myself. Oh my god, I'm insane. Also, I've this is such a niche thing, but Alex and I have been so into the Jonas Brothers lately. It's been crazy. And like, I'm not going to gatekeep this because not a lot of people listen to the Jonas Brothers anyway, but I'm in love with Joe Jonas. And like, I don't know if you'll ever see this video. I'm not even kidding. I love that man. I don't know what it is. Like, he has this amazing energy to him, and I feel so connected to him. Maybe this, like, I literally just spoke about people being insane from thinking of these like parasocial relationships that they have with these celebrities, and I'm literally sitting here talking about Joe Jonas and how much I love him. Anyways, it doesn't, like, I'm not crazy, but anyway, I still respect Joe, and I'm like not in his DMs, so like let's just put that to a side. But I just love Joe Jonas. He's just so attractive to me. I honestly, I think it's like I love confident men, and he's just been so attractive to me lately. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm going back into my camp rock phase. Like Demi Lovato was on stage. Like they brought JoJo on stage. Like it's insane. I feel like I'm living my nostalgia through them, and they're making me so happy at the moment. So it definitely has been boosting my serotonin levels. I love that. So shout out to the Jonas Brothers. You guys have been making me so happy lately. I love the content that's been coming out. And it helps because they're not that popular either. Like they're really popular. I feel like they're more popular in America than in Australia. But, I see edits of them and I'm like, oh, they only have like 100,000 people like that have watched it, or like 100 likes on there. I'm like, oh, thank God, like I could gatekeep one thing. Honestly, that's all my points for today. This has been a good episode. I just want to thank everyone again for tuning in and listening to me. This was a really good episode. I finally feel a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera and speaking now, knowing that I have so many supporters and so many people that are listening in. So thank you. Hopefully, I'll see you in a fortnight. I'm trying to do this in a fortnightly basis. This episode had a bit of I am basically re-recording this episode because I filmed over the weekend and I had a bit of issues and I couldn't release it. So I'll be coming out with bonus episodes to make up for it. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Thank you. Hopefully, I will see you on the next episode.